Hi YouTubers, I'm going to do another review, and this time it's on my new Serfas eDash Plus. First off, the company is spelled Serfas, or I think it's pronounced Serfas, which sounds like Serfas, which is another bike company, but they are two completely different companies. Serfas is located in Phoenix, and they made the name for themselves with the bike accessories, but now with the popularity of e-bikes, they are going that direction too. This is an improvement on the Serfas eDash. The difference between the eDash and the eDash Plus is now the eDash Plus has a mid-drive, which is a Bofang M600 that they don't talk about in the specs, but that's an M600. Other than Serfas company doing the short 30-second videos, I couldn't find a bike detail, the eDash Plus, so I guess I'm going to be the first. I've watched Court doing many e-bike reviews on eBike Reviews or EBR, so I'm following in his footsteps. Let's be honest, all bikes are made in China, but built to American specifications, even Trek. And speaking of Trek, that's the bike I had and I sold to buy the eDash Plus. These are pictures of the Trek conduit that I had sold that I'm referring to in this video. It was a reliable bike, but it just was very uncomfortable, at least for me. So I'm happy that it found a new owner, and I've since moved on to the Serfas, and I'm very, very happy with it. Here's my story. Reluctantly, I brought my Trek conduit up to a friend's cabin in northwest Wisconsin to ride with some friends. I say reluctantly because in previous years, the ride starts off great, and then because of the riding position, my hands and wrist gets numb and my seats, my butt starts to hurt. I've owned the Trek for 4 years, and each time I ride it for a while I experience these symptoms. So while I'm on the Gandy Dancer Trail that passes through Webster, Wisconsin, there's a bike store called Pedal and Spoke. I stopped in there to check out the alternatives to my Trek conduit. So I called out the names that are familiar like Giant and Cannondale, etc., and see if they carried them. And the salesman stopped me and said, hey, you need to check out this new bike from Serfas. So I took it for a test drive. I loved it immediately. It's a step through, or as we used to call it, a girl's bike. It's called a comfort bike too. I would have bought it at the time, but it was a medium size and I'm a better fit for the large model. So immediately upon returning home, I sold my Trek conduit and ordered the eDash Plus in the large size. It arrived 6 weeks later, and I couldn't be happier. It's a Class 3 capable of pedal speeds up to 28 miles an hour and throttle speeds up to 20 miles an hour. The throttle is nice, so when I'm tired, I don't have to pedal. The tires are wider too than my Trek conduit, but not too fat as a fat tire bike, so they're just right size to provide a comfortable ride. And this is the battery right here, okay? And if you can look, that's where the charger port is, but then there's another charger port on the bike itself. So I'm going to insert the battery. Okay, this is the startup sequence. Pressing the hold button here, and the screen comes on. And it's very simple, and it's got a lot of features. Okay, this is the controls. This is the handbrake. This is the throttle, this is the power, this is the headlight, and this is the speed control as far as the level of assist that it provides. And on the right side, this is the gear, the physical gear that the bike is in with the Shimano Altus shifter. And as you see, there's no hub motor here on the Serfas eDash Plus, but the drive is the Bofang M600. And the disc brakes on front and rear. There's the discs in the rear and the discs in the front. Okay. And this is the shock suspension. So fortunately, the bike has a luggage rack because I had to buy this Serfas accessory to put a water bottle on. So Serfas, if you're listening, this bike is perfect. But if you could maybe put on here a couple lugs for a water bottle, this would be the perfect bike. Oh, and then it has a fender up front and back, which is going to be handy when it's biking in the rain. And then finally, I forgot to talk about this with the battery. Besides charging the battery from the actual battery, if you want to remove it for the winter time and keep a charge on it every month or two, it also has a connector right here. So you can charge the battery on the bike. And this is something that was missing from my truck conduit. I had to actually physically remove the bike and to charge it. So it's got a bright headlight too. That's how you turn it on. And here is the light. You can't see, but there we go. Because this is daylight, but it has a bright headlight. So when you turn on the light, not only does the light come on in front, but it's got a tail light here too. Okay. And finally, they make a tail light that lights up when you hit the brake. And that's a nice touch, I think. So would I recommend this bike? Absolutely. So I'll put a link to the Serfas website in the description below so you can learn more about this eDash Plus. This is a really wonderful bike, at least for me. Probably not for everybody, but it fits me and my lifestyle perfectly. So in review, here's the major features that make this bike a winner for me. I'm not as limber as I once was, so having to not throw my leg over the frame, but rather stepping through it is really great. The riding position, being upright rather than hunched over, is so much more comfortable. And the handlebars are adjustable, so they can be more comfortable for my wrist and hands, so they don't go numb, forcing me to take changes in my hand positions on the handlebars constantly. The front fork is suspension, which I didn't have on my other bike, and so that takes all the bumps in the road away. The seat is very, very comfortable because that's their specialty. This completes my video of the new Serfas eDash Plus, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. As always, if you like this content of the video, please like and subscribe. Click the bell to receive notifications on my next upcoming videos. Until then, keep guessing what I'm going to talk about on the next video.